Building a relationship as an epileptic. I had an old high school girlfriend reach out to me and was interested in going out to eat or something like this
This isn't
weekend.
working for me.
We got into talking
Okay.
about our lives since school, and she ghosted me after explaining the epilepsy situations. Another one for the books. Is it hard dating while epileptic?
Okay, here we go. I got you on my iPad
No.
as well.
All right, there you go.
Is it hard
All right,
All
so
dating?
right, life is good.
did you get the question, Tom? Is dating hard as an epileptic?
Tom's married, I think.
Is dating,
No. There
I'm
you
sorry,
go.
is dating hard as an epileptic?
Right, right. That was the question.
I'm married, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Of course, of
I
course.
don't have a problem. I've been married 23 years.
Nice.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yay.
You're
Congratulations.
here.
Hey,
I'm so
Mom.
sorry I'm late.
Not
all
at all. No worries. No
4
worries.
minutes.
It's always something when you have, 7 people.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Yeah.
going
Tell me about
in
it.
another direction.
The
No
first
matter what,
question
you
I
brighten the
had
whole meeting.
the first question I had was dating while epileptic, but everyone's married here.
Oh,
not married.
yeah. Okay.
Oh.
I'm sorry about that. I can't.
No,
And I
I'm
How's
working
couldn't
on
that
the
going,
divorce
Rachel?
right now,
when I
but
was epileptic because
there you go.
just got it. We've been married 23 years almost, and I just got it 5 years ago. So, don't know.
Well, not that I can
23
remember,
years.
but I was definitely diagnosed before I got together with my ex-husband. And I think just being upfront, once you decide that this is actually somebody you can trust is the most important part to see if they're going to be supportive, if they're going to actually walk the walk. I can't think of another way to say it.
Yeah.
Not just be quick to call 911.
Yeah.
I think that's a good question though, because I've been divorced for 4 years. Is literally 2 months after I started having seizures. We
Oh,
signed the divorce papers, but I have had a relationship, and that person knew, but like going out forward, if I were to date, I don't know how I would handle that conversation. So, how would you?
I guess it depends on what would prompt it.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
just a very
prompting, is the seizure going to be the start of the conversation? Then I would definitely have to tell him I literally can't talk about this right now because I couldn't tell you my middle name. But when I have like all my composure, then we'll go over the details. And sorry, I didn't bring it up any sooner.
I
And
think
if it was
that
a bad one, they take care of you. Thanks for that. Whatever.
yeah, if I were to just start dating somebody, I wouldn't that wouldn't be like the first thing that I'd bring up because I
Oh
don't
no.
defined by my epilepsy.
Oh no.
But I
Not
I
definitely
think
until
I
after
would.
second base for sure.
That'd be pretty
I think I'd
difficult
bring it
to
up.
find out.
what?
I
I
said,
think I'd bring it up first date. Gotta let them know, just so I'm safe.
right, right.
Wherever we're going, you gotta know.
Well, so the first date, right? But like, what if I'm chatting with somebody and we're like chat, 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 online dating, whatever it is, and then it's like the
Oh
first
yeah.
date. Like, I'm very transparent, but I also don't want it to be like that's what defines me. I can understand like talking about it on a date, but I don't want to be like, let's just say online dating and like, oh, P.S., guess what? I also have epilepsy. I don't know, because I think that would suck. Like you just brought that person up. That would really suck to be like somebody's like, oh, I don't want to talk to you anymore because you have epilepsy. It's like, dude, I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, I had 6 kids after being diagnosed, so didn't have to
Congratulations.
feel like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy to.
You beat me.
It was easy to be me. I had 6 kids after being diagnosed, and one real shortly after. And then the rest were just like stair steps.
I don't want to have more kids. I just would like to have a relationship someday.
Yeah, I'm just showing you the relationship worked. Well, they worked for a certain amount of time.
Right.
Well,
Until the
I'm
kids
new
come.
to like, I'd be new to dating, obviously, after I'm having brain surgery in less than a month. So I'm like, I'm not into dating anytime soon, but I will be wanting to date soon, maybe in like a year.
Yeah.
I'm single now. I want to start dating now.
Mhm.
I'm going to go through the comments, and one says, "You dodged a bullet." But yes, being epileptic and finding love is definitely hard. I have added burden of being intersex. I've learned how to love myself for who I am and how to enjoy life in solitude.
Congratulations. Way to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah. Okay, I got another one. Says, first seizure at 29. I broke my back in 2 places and my pelvis. I had
Ow.
my first seizure last week while driving. All I remember is pulling away, and then the memory is blank until I woke up by someone opening the door. The dash cam shows I crashed at 3 miles per hour, so it appears the seizures didn't cause the damage, which is a double back fracture and fracture pelvis. The seizure went on for 10 minutes, and I'm not sure if this is particularly long, but I'm just relieved I didn't crash on a busy road or hit the accelerator during the seizure. There is no history of seizures in my family, and I've never had anything happen previously to make me worry that I may have to be subject to them. But now I'm worried it will happen again, as they can't say for certain what caused it. And I'm just being told it's unlikely to happen again. I'm currently trying to walk again. Took my first steps yesterday. They were with a back brace on, using a walker. How do I go about rebuilding my life? I'll possibly lose my license. Is there anything I can do with my lifestyle wise to minimize the chances of it happening? And how do I stop worrying about what will happen?
Well,
You
I
guys
would
think you
just
can
say
turn the
focus on
music off?
yourself. Recovery comes first, absolutely. And then learn your triggers, especially if this is a new thing.
I would say get into the hospital EEG. You gotta get into the in-hospital EEG because if they do one of the little mini ones, the chance they're gonna catch it is very low. And I mean, I they didn't think mine were like they were at all until I was on there, and then less than 6 hours, not even the time that it would have taken for the medication to wear off from the first dose to my next dose, I was having ones that were scaring the heck out of them. So you don't know until you have somebody watching you 24 hours a day.
Did anybody else's doctors ever tell them to stop taking their meds to make sure they have a seizure on the EEG?
Nope.
Not on a regular walk-in EEG,
Yes.
but in
No,
the
no,
hospital.
like on one of the inpatient ones.
Yes.
And the
Okay, yeah, that's what they
they
told me
did.
too.
Just a mild stomach upset, so vomiting, diarrhea.
Yeah, that's what they told me too.
Well, they told me to take my morning dose, then check in at like 9 in the morning, and then, you know, by the evening dose, I might have something, but they were not expecting 14 seizures in less than 3 days, you know,
Right.
and it scared a team of them.
I
So
mean, this post is just scary because this guy must have so much recovery to go through already with
I
occupational
know,
therapy and everything else. Like, you don't have any of your physical, you're not physically capable of
right?
maybe,
You really need
getting
somebody
to a
to
safe
care for
place.
you,
Exactly.
to take you to these appointments and make sure you check these things off your list.
Yeah, no idea if you have auras or not.
Yeah, it could
Probably don't
be.
remember.
I know, right? I mean,
It's
that's
harder
3 miles an
than you
hour is
figure
very
it out.
slow, thank God. But I think maybe we all know somebody who has actually had a devastating car accident. I know somebody, you know.
I know a few who have epilepsy.
I
Yeah,
had one 2
yeah,
years ago, totaled my car.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had one 4 years ago.
yeah. I did not, thank God. My coworker recognized there was something very wrong with me 2 days after I got my license back, and she was like, "You're not driving home. Give me your keys," and called my husband. But my mother had a coworker that was 8 years seizure free, and he was driving in Virginia, and he killed a carload of 4 people, and
Oh
he
my
survived.
God.
I mean, I can't imagine the guilt
Oh,
of that, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Eight
I
years, you
couldn't
think
imagine.
you're out of the woods, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know. I'm not sure even if I was allowed to drive, I would be able to after hearing these things that I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I've
the
always
worst
said
part. I can't
once,
deal with knowing that I maybe killed someone or even hurt someone,
Right,
because
right.
then it's all the way my fault. They shouldn't even be hurt or anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I'm so wanting to help people that it would just crush my soul.
uh, once an epileptic, always an epileptic. That's my, you know.
Unfortunately, that's kind of how I feel now, and it's the
Yeah.
saddest thing in the world because I love to drive.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So fun.
I've
Going
got a
through the
question
comments.
for you guys, if I may.
Go ahead.
Please.
I've been pretty controlled with my seizures. The problem I'm having is with my medication as far as my memory. My medication's awesome. I mean, my seizures are pretty much controlled. I'm working, but again, my memory's foggy.
Mhm.
I'm just having side effects that aren't working for me. I
Right.
was wondering if I'm taking Lamictal and Keppra, or is that I can't. It begins with an L. Miatrix.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's the generic version.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, um, I'm wondering. I don't think I want to change because I don't want to mess up. Where I'm at right now. I just want to get past some of these side effects. But if I have a seizure at work, I'm done. But so I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and deal with the side effects. Because as you all know, you change medication and you're going to have issues for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm between, a rock and a hard spot right here. Even my wife's telling me, Tom, these side effects, and since you like the Keppra is going to kill you. So I haven't worked in 20 years. And now I've got a job and I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm afraid to go back to work because I've hurt myself so much, falling in the fryer, stuff of that sort, falling on the floor, hurting my face, chipping teeth and stuff. Yeah, it's not
Now
for me.
I've had two at work. Now
Oh,
one
so
I
they
went
know
into the
about it
bathroom.
already.
I felt it coming on. So I'm sorry about my glasses. That glare. Anyway,
Whatever works for you. It's not glaring on us.
so my aura told me I was going to have a seizure. So I went in the bathroom, had a seizure, came out, and was walking down the hallway. My wife just happened to be at that, I work at Costco. So I was walking down my wife said that I wasn't there, so somebody was able to grab me and sit me down. And then I finally, got my bearings back. That was one time. Another time I had one in the office and people thought I was having a stroke or something. But, they weren't that bad in comparison to what you guys are going through.
When's the last
So,
time you had a seizure?
pardon me?
When's the last time you had a seizure?
Oh, about one that I'm really aware of was probably about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have them, but they're really They're not that bad.
Would it still put you at any risk on the job though?
That's it. I had two.
Oh, okay.
I think I had one the other night sleeping because my inside of my cheek was bit. That's how
Yeah,
I
those
know
are the
I've
ones
had
I
it.
hate.
That's it.
I hate those when I can't tell.
Uh-huh.
Got the signs, but I can't tell. I truly think it's the pills that's messing with our memory, because I know people who haven't
Oh,
had
yeah.
seizures for 10 years plus and they still have bad memory problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me.
Well, as you
I'm
know,
not-
every time you have a seizure, you kill brain cells.
Yep.
And so your memory, I don't care whether you're taking medication or not. You have seizures, you're killing brain cells.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
I think that has a lot to do with your memory as well.
Yep. Double dose those. Memory is the issues is the medications and the seizures. It's like both of those
And length of seizures too.
for
Right.
sure.
I mean,
Yes.
like when I when I had one that was 45 minutes long, my doctor about
Oh
had a
my
heart
God.
attack.
See, my wife took a video one time. I had a pretty bad one. And my wife took a picture. It's the only time I had never seen anyone have a seizure. And not even online. My epilepsy to me was nothing
Hmm.
because I don't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, my wife told me, she says, Tom, it's not about you. It's the people around you that have to deal with it. To me, I have a seizure. The only reason I know I have one is because the inside of my mouth is chewed up. That's the only way I know it. But now my auras are to the point where I know I'm having one. I can go lie down,
Yeah.
so personally, I think I'm doing quite well in comparison to what some of you guys are going through.
Well, Tom, it's funny that you bring that up. Not funny, but like I said, I'm going in for surgery. And I was talking to the neurosurgeon, and I was saying the same thing to him. I'm like, I don't feel like I have it that bad compared to other people. Same thing. Like my auras, I kind of know. I haven't had a tonic clonic in a while. So I'm like, I feel like I can kind of live with the situation. Although it sucks feeling like every day, like, okay, when's the seizure going to happen? Right. It's like,
Is it, isn't it?
yeah.
Looking over your
So
shoulder.
he had said to
Right.
me, like, okay, Rachel, do you want to go in? Do you want to wake up every day questioning if you're going to have a seizure, or are you like scared for the surgery? Like, but I have an 80% chance of not having seizures after the surgery. So,
That's a high chance.
right.
Yeah.
He put it into a really good perspective of me because I'm scared of surgery, right? I'm scared of all the
yeah.
recourse after
Me
surgery.
too.
But do I want to do I want to look at it like, do I want to worry every day? Or do I want to go in this like I do, blaze, guns blazing like everything else that has to do with epilepsy, and like, okay, let's excuse my language, but let's take care of business. So that's how I'm trying to look at this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. I mean, did they explain to you well enough that, why that 80% is there? They're not trying to sell you an implant or something. They're actually just saying this is what's going to fix it.
That's a good question.
I
'Cause
love that
I
one.
That's
questioned that too. Like, well, are they just, is he just super confident? Because they're going to be doing the anterior right temporal lobe. So they're going to go in and just squeeze out they're going to take out the part in the right temporal lobe where my seizures are coming from.
right.
So
Okay.
it's not like it's not a device that's going into my brain.
They
So
just want to
allegedly this
remove
is
that
like,
spot. That's what they did with me.
they did do this with you?
Yes. Right
Okay.
here, right temple road. And I was tethered to a wall for about a week and a half
Yeah.
What do you mean?
where they were trying for me to have a seizure. They did everything, the lights. Finally,
Oh.
they took me down to where I was taking no medication. I still wasn't having a seizure. But again, finally I had one. But then they just went in and they took a thumbnail of my brain out. But they wouldn't let me have it.
They wouldn't let you have
It's
the
mine.
But then you're having seizures after this.
Well, that and I have a VNS as well.
Okay.
Oh,
So
But
now
they didn't
they're
sell him
telling
the
you.
80%, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't tell you the 80%, huh?
Well, my wife said that they were worse.
that's
But
what
since
I have to
that-
look at too. Is the
Yeah.
perspective of like risk versus reward on these surgeries.
Yeah.
If they're actually just doing a, whatever the medical word is. I know it's not dissection, but whatever the medical word is for like
Resection.
removing. Okay, there we go. So if they're
Yeah.
doing that and telling you this 80%, just keep in mind, basically keep in mind, if it doesn't work, I would ask the physician, what's the plan, essentially what's plan B? And
Plan
know
B
that
would
you're
be-
at, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any one of us want to say, well, you should have it. You shouldn't, because hey, you know what? It didn't
up to
work for
you.
me.
I know.
I mean,
Right.
And
it's
I
up
don't
to
know
you.
what I don't know what the fatality rate is or whatever, if there is. I don't know.
It's a hard gamble, right? It's like I had that
Me, I thought I was a
SEEG and I
guinea
did
pig.
have
I mean,
a
this
little
was
bit of a
18,
bleed.
almost 20, probably 20 years ago.
But
That
that's
was
what
20
this
years
group
ago.
is reinforcing, how important it is for us as patients to do our own research, because we can't honestly
yeah.
trust the doctors. I've been at
Exactly.
the same facility since my surgery 5 years ago, and I'm just now finding out that Cleveland Clinic 10 miles away is the level 4 epilepsy center, and Health First over in Melbourne that I've been going to isn't.
Mm.
They
Don't you
just have a
hate
neurologist there that I thought I trusted.
I was going to a university that's what they deal with. And
Hello, USF.
Pokey, where are you from?
He's from the Bay Area where I have been
Oh, okay.
going.
My wife's from
The
Concord.
San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
I mean, he can tell you
My wife's
exactly
from
where he's from if he
Concord.
wants.
I'm from
Go ahead,
Philadelphia.
Pookie.
Yeah, I'm born in
But
Sanford,
I
so I'm
live
right
in
here.
Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, Tom, I'm in Portland.
And that's where I was up at OHSU.
That's where I go.
Okay. I don't go there anymore. I'm a Kaiser patient.
Okay.
Okay. But
I'm gonna
yeah,
shoot
this
you a
was
little
20
message.
years ago when I had my seizure. I mean my surgery. And I think back then I was a guinea pig. That's the way I felt.
20 years ago,
Me
I mean,
too.
technology's changed like crazy. Like the
Yes,
Rosa,
I
the
agree.
Rosa, with this SEEG, like the Rosa. Have you heard of that? Like the machine, the little robot that did the SEEG. It's like
Yeah.
state of the art, right?
Yeah. Excuse me a quick moment. Hey, Trace.
Um,
I don't
So,
want to, I don't want to keep
Rachel,
you.
when
I'll go.
so my husband had a craniotomy and had a piece of his brain
Alright.
removed about that big 16 years ago at UCSF, which is where I go now, but I'm in the epilepsy center. But they want to do exploratory surgery. Luckily, they've at least found a specialist who can tell from my MRI exactly what it is and why it is and where it's. But they also say, even if we go in and take it out, there's a good chance you're going to be on medication for the rest of your life, and you'll probably still have some seizures, and we can't really tell you. But I'm going to tell you, my husband was pissed off after his craniotomy. He wouldn't
So is
speak to the
mine.
doctors.
Why?
They were
They said that, oh, you'll be all better.
well, he was like, they said talk, and he would not. And they made me come in and make him talk. And then they said, it's a miracle, and left the room. And I was like, how in the, what the, y'all didn't say it was going to be like this. But he had this AVM in the middle of his speech center from when he was, in utero, basically. And it had been pumping the wrong way for his whole life. And it took him like 5 years to get anybody to listen to him about it. But just after helping him recover, like the idea of having that kind of brain surgery myself is daunting, let's say. But it sounds like they know exactly what the heck they're trying to do for you. However, look at Tom, he's still having issues.
Still kicking.
They still alive, exactly. And his medications are working, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would never tell
I feel
anybody.
they are. I feel they are. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the way things are going. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you guys. I'm listening to some of these experiences. I'm reading, the epilepsy thread and the universe one, and some of the other ones. And excuse me, Tom's well. I'm happy with where I'm at.
That's
My
awesome.
wife, on the other hand, she's pissed, to put it mildly, because the VNS and the brain surgery, before the brain surgery, she was told life will be better, all better. Then I had the VNS, and a lot of times I forget the magnet, because I'm just going to go and lie down on the couch. Like, honey, I'm going to have a seizure. So I go in, lie down, and watch TV. I don't know if I have it or not, but I don't miss my TV show. See, that's just it. I don't know if I have it.
Well, if it's not
And I hear you guys,
traumatic
and
to the people you love and it's not threatening your life, then good. I mean,
Yeah.
apparently I had an absence seizure with my husband, and I have literally no idea about it whatsoever. And he didn't even tell me about it until we were talking about other auras I had, and he was like, "Oh yeah, and you had that thing the other day." And I was like, "Say what?" Were you gonna like, if
So
I
is that
don't
when I
know?
have absent seizures? Is that what it's
What's that?
called?
What's that?
The seizures that I have from what I've told you, that sound like absent seizures
Mhm.
or focal, whatever.
Yeah, focal
All I
absence.
remember grand mal seizures. I mean, that's
You can't forget
that's what I
those.
used to have.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed when I was 13,
Oh,
Oh,
and I'm 64 now.
wow.
Yeah.
You have lived a long, healthy life then, for
50
goodness
years
sake.
ago.
Oh, I used to have grand mal seizures a
Yeah,
long
but
time ago.
Every time I talk to somebody and they always say, "Oh, I've had epilepsy for 4 years, 5 years, 3 and 1 and stuff." Tom, you've had epilepsy for
that's
50
incredible.
years.
Good job. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously,
The
Shazam.
story of a survivor, the definition right there.
that's
for
right,
real.
Tom.
I've
It's
had
like,
it for
boys and
20,
girls, we can
but
do this.
you're the only person I know who's had epilepsy longer than me, who diagnosed longer than me.
That's
I was diagnosed 20 years ago. We're going on 20. So
yeah,
you're
that's
the champ now, Tom.
I
right.
have a spot in my life. Well, I have a history that you guys don't want to hear about, but
I want to
I've got
hear.
a span of time in my life where I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I was on the street.
Oh, honey.
I was a drug addict. I did meth for years. I was smoked pot. I've been in prison. I've got a history, but there's a span of time. I don't know how many years it was even. That I have no recollection of it. I wasn't on medication, but here I am today. My wife is my lifesaver. We met in a bar and we hooked up. We have been inseparable ever since.
Sometimes all we need is a woman.
That's it. I'll tell you what, girls, you guys are the bomb. Every man needs a woman like you. Okay?
Right.
Men
Well,
are,
that is reassuring.
I'll
Yes.
tell you what, men are rotten. Rotten to the core.
Yep.
To a good woman.
Right.
That's nice.
This is my
So-
second one.
Second wife.
Wife.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have a girl. She's 33, I think. Yeah.
Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the biggest thing that has helped me through these last 20 years is being a witness, a Jehovah's Witness.
Having something to believe in is
I'll tell you, my God is the center of my life. Jehovah's the center of my life, and everything I do I'm out to help people the best I can. I witness to people to help them have a better life. And I'm not going to sit here and preach to you guys, but that's my life right there. I conduct Bible studies. I go out and knock on doors and I work. That's my life.
Well, I
And
think
I'm
you're pretty
happy
rad,
now.
Tom. I think you have a pretty darn good story to tell. So thank you for sharing that. That's pretty
You
that's
bet.
awesome.
It is
I
awesome.
would say that was brave to tell that story. That was a lot, but yeah, thanks for the story.
Well, hey,
Absolutely.
I got
Everyone
nothing to
has a
hide,
story.
man.
Yeah.
But yeah, they sold me the surgery under the impression that I would be off the meds and seizure free forever. And
That
that's
was
why
mean.
now I understand a second opinion and doing your own research is much more important, because I was still in my 20s and
That's
thought
so
that I really,
wrong.
really needed this.
I don't like that. That's upsetting.
Did it get
At
better,
least-
Annie?
What's that?
Well, that's where I do have to agree with Tom. I can see where I can relate to his story, because I do have to appreciate that I don't have as many grand mals. I mean, the length, they're shorter. The incontinence has stopped. And again, we're only talking a year here. But I do have to appreciate that the severity is lower with the RNF. And now I'm just kind of got a chip on my shoulder about NeuroPace telling me that I'm never going to have never going to be able to access my data. All I can do, the best I can do, is get a screenshot of what the doctor chooses to show me in an office visit. A tech from RNF and the medical assistant at the doctor's office both told me in, the nicest way possible that I wouldn't understand it. You'll never get it. And it's a bar graph showing seizure activity over time. The x-axis is the time and the y-axis is the activity, the level of activity. So I can read the bar graph.
I don't
And
understand.
But that
they're
tells
saying
you
it's
nothing
not
in
allowed.
reality.
Well,
You
it would
know-
tell me how many times I'm getting zapped, because your VNS, from what I understand, the difference is that it's more regular.
It's regular. I
Right,
think
right.
mine goes off. See, that's what it is. They can adjust it. They can what did you say you have an RNS or something? Is that what they put in your brain?
Yeah, the
It's in your
RNS, they
brain?
call it responsive neurostimulation something. And
Or stimulator?
yeah, and instead of the electrodes on the top,
the
they went with the
VN, yeah.
rods, because they said that the some of the foci were like deeper in my brain, so they went with 2 rods in the back and the craniotomy here, where I just use the magnet, collect the data, send it to them, and I'm sure it helps. Maybe it really does help, because they ask me about the worst ones when I go in, and I tell them what, if I even knew that I had it, if there were any known triggers, if I did it to myself, and that's
Oh, I
what I
love
feel
that
like
one.
at
Did
this
I do
point
it to
is.
myself?
Did I do it to myself?
Exactly.
God.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
Love that
well,
one.
you know what? I haven't had a seizure in a week, so it's about time I have a
I didn't.
PC,
I
right?
decided that
Yeah.
I didn't like
It's
myself
about time.
today,
Let me jump off the
and I
building
decided to
and
drink a
let me
big
walk in
cup of
front of a
coffee
bus.
and friggin' run a mile. Yeah, I did
Now,
it
you
to
see, that's
myself.
my wife's biggest concern, because I took the bus everywhere. And my wife's like, well, Tom, you could have a seizure and walk out in front of a car.
It's true. I'm sorry, but it is a little bit.
Because, Tracy tells me that when I have a seizure, okay, I'll go lie down. And she says, but if I have a seizure and it's one of the worst ones,
Mm,
she says, there's no stopping me.
yeah,
I get up and I'm going to go do what I want to do.
yeah,
And it's not going to last long, but Tom's, he has it in his mind.
right.
So
That's
say, Tom,
that's
no, lay
scary.
down, go lay down,
It's
sit down.
scary. It's so scary for your loved ones too. I know. I've done I've done some odd things. Not as bad as
Oh,
some people that I've seen on our, you know, talks, chats on Reddit, but I can imagine, Tom. I'm sorry. Yeah. I can understand why she's worried. Um, I don't know. A service dog?
I don't
Maybe?
have them now, I don't think, I'll ask her, I'll see what she says.
Well, the thing about a
I
service
ask my
dog,
honey everything.
and I know Katie is training her service dog right now.
Yeah.
would
I
be-
am having a discussion with my mother about how this service dog just, nipped a little one.
Oh dear.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Mine,
We're
you know
we're
what?
13 months in, and it takes some training, some hardcore training, and with a professional trainer and children in the house, pick the right dog at the right time. That's my advice on that one.
If my wife was here right now, she would kiss you. Well, now maybe not you, but my wife wants a dog.
well, I'm
She
just
wants a dog.
because dogs can learn to like. Okay, so I have this ridiculous high-strung Chiweenie of all friggin' things. But this
Chiweenie.
dog has learned to like smell when my threshold is low or something's gonna happen, and he acts different. And sometimes he won't leave me. And maybe it makes my family pay attention and maybe not. But even if he's just there,
Well, yeah, there you go.
I feel like when I wake up, it just means, well, he was paying attention, he was making sure. And maybe
Well, so first of all, hi everyone. Second of all,
sorry.
my therapist, I live in the city, so it's hard to find a place that'll let you have a dog.
Right.
But my therapist gave me a signed release for me to have a dog. So I can have a dog. It's not like a service dog, but I get to have a dog just
A warning dog, for instance, or just
it's just a dog to like, I don't know, just to like
comfort.
make me
Yeah, I was gonna
happy.
say
Yeah.
that.
For a
like,
dog. Yeah.
If
it-
I
nothing
mean, that
else,
was why
That
we
is
got
still a
him.
service animal. Absolutely, that is still a
yeah,
service animal. If
so I
when
get
we
to
saw
have a
this dog
dog.
would lay down, yeah.
We haven't found one yet, but I get to have a dog just to, make me feel better.
Yeah. And they
you know,
do. They do.
we'll see if the one we find winds up alerting
Yeah.
my wife at all, but like
Well,
we
it's
get to have
usually a
one.
gradual thing because they don't know, right? They have to get to know your smell. They have to get to know your things. And now, I think that's the Chiweenie has kind of just been like, Mom acts different when this is happening. I really feel like that's what it is with, and thank God. He still acts like a Chiweenie and barks at everything, but when big stuff is happening, he's good.
That's what I'm saying. The dog might not always have manners, but she will lay there if I'm having a bad one. So I
The
got her
thing
the
about the
medical vest.
baby, that's hard.
That is complicated, but as he gets older, and it's totally one day at a time at this point. We know how to train her. I'm blessed to have a mother who is a professional trainer, so she's been
Oh,
around
thank
all
God.
breeds. Yeah, she's been around all breeds her whole life.
That's
And
perfect.
yes, I know I'm getting the right tips, but it's just as important that I stick with it. Consistency is key when it comes to
Right.
training
We're
dogs.
training the dog.
And I have to admit I haven't been the best at that. So my dog does not have all her public service, politeness about her. But if I'm out with her vest on, we got the little sticker that says for medical use, and there's a zipper.
Do
The
not
nasal
touch.
lamp goes in there. And if I go down even outside, she will lay there, and any bystander should be able
There
to
she is.
take it from them. But that's all in theory right now. And honestly, it's just so I can probably have some reassurance, because I'm the only one who actually wants to go out alone. Everybody else wants to be FaceTiming or something because they don't trust it.
Tracy and I were at a friend's house, and they had this black lab. It was a puppy, and I had a seizure. It was a good one, and I fell on the ground. Well, this dog came up and lied like she was spooning me, and she just laid there until the seizure was done, and she stayed with me the whole time. She was a puppy. She'd never been anywhere except for on their property. So yes, dogs have an inner sense somehow.
Well, they
They
can
know
smell
when
it. They
things
really
happen.
can because you chemically put off a scent too. And
Yeah,
that's
of
what they're
some
supposed
sort,
to.
yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure she just realized something you needed something.
My
I
cats
Right.
do the same thing. When I had seizures on my couch, my cats, they're intuitive, you know, so they can sense whether it's a smell or something. They're totally right next to me, comforting me.
My parents think that the reason my dog, my service dog Trixie, it doesn't always like sometimes thinks I'm having a seizure when I'm not, and like starts panicking is because they think I always smell like seizures, and it's just
Or you could just be having the scent of an aura, even if it's a light
Exactly.
one, and she could
Yeah.
smell it and you might not be
Yeah.
feeling it. Who knows? Animals are
Exactly.
so sensitive. I can't.
Exactly. And if our hormones give out a scent, there's certain times in your life, even around that time of the month and things like that, when we're more potent to them.
Uh-huh.
So that's definitely going to make a difference. And scent training is a big task. So we'll just see if if we notice any consistencies, or if we actually go the scent training route of, after you have a seizure, wipe around your neck, wipe around like all those places that they recommend,
Okay.
give off the most. Put it
Really?
in the little bottle, train the dog to go for that bottle, and then go for the meds.
Oh,
It's a process. Yeah, it's
Wow.
Oh,
definitely
wow.
a process, but it is impressive. If you
I
see
would
the
really
work that
just
guide
need him
dogs do,
to
they
tell
can do
somebody
this.
else to do it, because there's no way I'm doing it.
I thought it was funny when you said smell like seizures for an epileptic.
Yep.
Yeah, we smell like seizures.
For
Yeah.
real, right?
we
God.
have a
Yeah,
pheromone
never
of
gonna see
some
that
sort,
on the
I guess.
shelf.
Right. You smell
But
like a
it's
seizure.
true though,
No
is
one
it
else
not?
has.
Everybody, have you all had this like there's a thing where like animals, they can smell it, like your cats and like the dogs, and you've heard of training, and it's a thing. I don't know, my doctor said it. I didn't say it.
Right.
But that's funny that Rachel said she always smells like seizures. Yeah, I can
Well, I
imagine.
don't like dogs.
Oh, I'm so sorry that I'm trying to get you to get a service
No,
dog.
no,
You
no,
don't
no,
like
no.
them.
I
Yeah, I
know.
know. It's
See,
gotta
let me
feel like we're
rephrase
all on
that.
your
Let me
wife's side
rephrase
here.
that. I don't want a dog.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
It's not as though I don't like them, but I have a reason.
Oh, okay.
I won't walk the dog.
The care, the
Right.
maintenance. Yeah.
Yes, I won't clean up after a dog.
Okay.
I have a cat. I
Okay.
clean up after the cat.
Mhm.
Okay, well,
They're independent.
cats can alert
I mean,
too.
I'm not going to go clean up the yard, take the dog for a walk.
I
Yeah.
mean, we never clean up our yard. The dog's just, the dog.
Well,
just,
yeah, but I cut the grass.
um,
Ah,
Right.
yeah. And I have to deal with everybody else's dog in the neighborhood.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
We live in a neighborhood where you do not do that or you get in trouble.
Well, most of the people come around with a bag with them. I'll
That's
give
good.
them that, but there are some.
Yeah. I know
Actually
there's
did a
always some.
stint where I worked at a dog walker. I'm like, or a doggy daycare. I'm like full on. I'm all about dogs.
same.
Dogs are wonderful.
They're
Dogs are
amazing.
wonderful. I just don't, I mean, I don't have that. That's all. My wife wants one. She definitely wants one. But and she knows it. I will do it. If she comes home with a dog, then I will deal with it.
Well, it
She
But
did
what
that
if
with
it's
the
doesn't have to
cat.
be a
compromising your
big dog.
case?
I mean,
She
we're talking
will.
about something that just needs to be able to tell you something or tell her something, alert something, whatever.
And she might not be aware of a cat's capability either. I mean, all
Yeah.
animals, like you said, are intuitive and they have extraordinary abilities. So if
Yeah.
we've heard from
Cats are
Rachel
trainable.
already about the cats, actually showing the
Yeah.
recognition, then maybe your wife just isn't aware of that. You guys
Right.
could definitely have,
People
a talk
don't
about that.
realize how much work cats can be though. Like I have friends who have 2 cats,
Oh, shoot.
and the amount of things they tell me, like the amount of times the cats barf or poop somewhere that's
This
not the
morning.
litter box, like those cats are a mess.
I thought it was
Yeah,
just all about
animals
getting a
are
fancy litter box that
expensive.
like cleaned itself. But
Animals are expensive.
Yes.
When we first got our cat, she was an inside-outside cat. Well, she absolutely went
Oh,
out,
no,
and we had a
you,
lot of feral cats in the neighborhood.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
well, she
The
went and
next
she
door
got
neighbor has
herself
like
in a fight.
15 of them. Oh my God.
She
Drives
went
my
and got
Indian
she
cats
got an
crazy.
abscess.
We've got an outside cat, but she was a barn cat and she's just never happy when she's inside. She gets mad at everybody
Yeah.
whenever she's
I don't
inside.
want to
Well, my
judge
cat,
people,
my
but
cat
I
was
don't
sitting.
understand why people do that. Like, your cat should be inside. Out outside cats, no. It's
No, this is
it's
her preference, not mine. Kiki will sit in the window and or she'll go out on the porch here and she'll rub noses with the squirrels.
Oh,
ooh.
Oh yeah. She's
Right.
a sweetheart. She really is. If she wants to go out, I'll open the door. She'll go out. Then she'll meow when she wants to come in.
yeah.
She'll sit in the window and the birds will be outside and she'll meow she loves them. But she goes out when she wants to.
Yeah.
She's been out a couple times since, okay, you know what, this Portland, the weather has finally gotten nice. So she'll go outside. She's been out this morning. But if it's raining outside, she ain't going outside. But
I
that's
mean,
any
that's reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah,
She's a good kitty.
we bring our cat in whenever there's a storm, but she has a little place on like our deck. Our deck has like a thing and to protect it from the rain. And she's got like one of the neighborhood kids bought her a cat tree, and she has a to sit inside of out there. And she also has a little box that she can sit under. So it's only if it's like really bad, because she really, really hates it when people bring her inside.
Well, the other thing is 4th of July or something. Or yeah,
Oh,
anytime. I mean, that cat's gone.
any fireworks. Yes, any
Yeah,
fireworks.
it's
Fireworks.
gone. I mean, you can't find her. I mean, we know all her hiding places, but a firework goes off, she's gone. There's no finding her. And she'll come out a few hours later, maybe.
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 Yeah,
Maybe.
the tornadoes are, I mean, hurricanes rather. Hurricanes are scary too with when we first got our little Labradoodle home. I think she was not even 6 months when the hurricane hit, and she was stuck to her base, her bed, and I just was checking on her, and she had wet herself and just lost all fun.
My brother Joseph, he lives in he lives a while away from us, and his house was destroyed in like a freak storm, and they were so lucky to be able to get the cat out. They were so lucky that the cat was alive, because the whole house just got destroyed by the storm.
I'll tell you what, boys and girls, anybody that lives in that area is, I tell you what, I don't know how that you could do that, how you can live there. Like Tornado Alley, or where are you from, honey?
I'm in Florida right now.
I'm
but we're
from
talking about going to
Alabama,
Tennessee.
but he lives in South Carolina. My
Oh,
brother
okay.
does.
I'm talking about Tornado Alley or whatever it is.
But that's what I mean. West Tennessee is considered part of
Yeah.
Tornado Alley. They've had them in Kentucky and Mississippi, and all this week. And
I'm sorry.
it's like it's moving further and further east, but I still just feel like weather shouldn't be, and if especially if we're in the mountains, that's shown to not allow a stronger tornado. Tornadoes are the ones that we really are building a shelter for, because a hurricane, I mean, we could see coming. We can evacuate if we have to. We've been through plenty of them since we left Jersey and came here 20 years ago. And now we're like well adapted to these natural disasters, and just figure out which ones we prefer. And that's how we're going to choose a new place to live. Because tornadoes, bad weather happens everywhere.
Rachel,
Mhm.
did you say that you're from Portland?
Yeah.
No, I'm from no.
There's two Rachels. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm from Alabama.
Okay. Somebody said they were from Portland.
That's me.
All right.
Yes,
Well,
that's Rachel with an A.
anyway, here is to me, is the safest place in the United States. We don't have, back in 85, I think, Mount St. Helens went off.
That was 80.
But yeah, but besides that, we don't have earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes. We have rain. We have lots and lots of rain. We're too far away from the coast for a tsunami even to bother us. Supposedly, we do have a what do you call it? A fault line that goes through Portland, I think.
Mhm.
But besides that, just regular weather and stuff, we're good.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
cost of
I'm
living is
from
just a nightmare.
California, and everyone's really afraid of earthquakes. And I'm like, as far as natural disasters go, they're few and far between, whereas tornadoes happen all the time, and they're
Tornadoes are terrible.
terrifying.
Pokey, you
But
said you're from California.
Who, me?
Is
I
it
am.
Pokey?
I am, and I thought we were the best place. We don't get. All
I
we get is
lived
earthquakes.
directly on the San Andreas Fault for like
You do?
ever.
I
No, I
love
did.
San Francisco.
Oh yeah, my wife's from Concord.
20
Yeah.
years. I lived in
It's,
Marin,
Okay.
directly over the San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge from San Francisco, and we lived quite literally on it was between where two fault lines meet, and
Yeah.
Wow,
we
they
shook a
should
few
not have sold
times.
that house.
Every now and then we lived in an old Eichler. I don't know if any of you know what that is. It's like a 1950s house with single pane glass all over it. So like every now and then the house would shift and a piece of glass would crack. But generally speaking, we didn't have too many shakes. I was really impressed.
I was in one earthquake one time, and I was in the shower. and the shower floor. No, it was maybe like this.
Okay.
But no. To me, that was I've never been in one before.
It was more trembly most times that I felt it. I don't recall it. Joe, do you
Yeah, I
recall
haven't.
it?
I haven't
Ever
experienced a
shaking
big
again?
one. We have earthquakes, but we don't have the
Had some
wildfires right here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, that's what we got.
We don't get those. All we get is earthquakes, and they
We don't
haven't
have any
been
trees
bad.
down there.
We get lots and lots of tornadoes.
Oh, tornadoes. I scared them.
California doesn't even have grass.
I did.
We
Well,
are
where
strictly
Pokey's from-
earthquakes here.
And my
I kinda
wife
do now.
my wife's from Concord, which is just over the bridge.
Hmm.
Yep.
So yeah.
Just a little further than Marin. Hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I lived in San Rafael. Yep. We were it's an interesting place.
I mean, they're not even allowed to drink water down there.
No, we were not allowed to wash our cars or water our grass or
Right.
anything. But yeah, I don't know. Our grass stayed alive because the stupid landlord refused to fix the leak in the front. I don't know.
Well, what's the name
Something, so it stayed alive. We didn't water it.
What's the name of that reservoir that was empty for the longest time up in northern Washington, California? It's right on
I
I-5.
forgot the name.
Yeah. Anyway, we went down one time. It was empty. Okay, we came back like last year or something. It was almost full again.
Shasta? Shasta.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah?
Pardon me?
That's where I live now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh,
I don't
it's
think
full.
it's that high
Oh, wait.
anymore.
And it keeps getting fuller. I can't believe it. Every time we drive over to go to one of the little towns, you have to drive over part of the lake or whatever you want to call it.
Or whatever it
And
is.
it keeps getting higher and higher onto the tree line. I'm so impressed. It reminds me so much of the dams in Virginia where we used to water ski. I'm like, oh, it looks like.
Is anyone photosensitive?
No,
That's a good question.
I am a little bit, but only sorry. I am, but only like a little bit, and it doesn't make me have seizures, and it's only like the store light frequency.
Okay. The flickering.
Yeah, the flickering, that kind.
Like
Ah.
fluorescent?
Oh, that would be
Fluorescent lights?
awful. God.
Like, yeah, like lighting in a store. My dog is always, that's why my service dog always freaks out whenever I go into a grocery store. She just can't handle it.
Mm, mm. I
Well, I
don't
You
got
guys,
like
I'm
one.
gonna jump off,
flashing.
but I will be on Friday. So I hope you guys have a good day.
See you then. Thanks for hearing from
Thanks,
me.
Bye.
guys. Bye, guys.
Hi,
Joe.
thank you.
Thanks for
Bye,
coming.
Rachel.
So I got one that says for non-photosensitive people, do you still avoid certain lights? Most
Yeah.
people with epilepsy aren't photosensitive despite the stereotype, but I still try to avoid any kind of strobe light just in case. I wasn't going to go to a rave anyway, but I always try to look away if I'm in a car and the sun is shining through the trees or a faulty light bulb that's flashing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on some level, that's smart because you don't want to risk if but I can like see both sides to that. The side that makes sense and the side that
I just don't like the way it feels. I don't like it.
yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
it, so I try
Everyone
not to
gets
do
kind
it
of
if I can get
annoyed
away
by
from it.
those anyway. My wife was so nervous about it when I first became epileptic because she's just a nervous person anyway.
Mhm.
But you gotta live your life. So
Yeah.
I don't let it stop me from doing things I want to do.
Yeah.
But
But maybe I don't
you
stare
know,
directly into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Anybody else? I don't know.
Yeah.
The lights don't bother me, but one time I had a laser and I was at a funeral and I was like putting it on the chair in front of me, and then I went across my eyes and then I had a seizure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
But the lights don't bother me. Like strobe lights, they
Yeah,
did the test.
normally lights don't bother me either.
Yeah, but lasers be at concerts and stuff, just like strobe lights and stuff. They do those lasery things.
I genuinely don't know who likes strobe lights so much that
They stare into them. I don't know. Dancing, maybe.
I had to do the test where they put the strobe light in my face for the little test, trying to make me have a seizure. But it didn't work.
Back in the
Um,
70s,
Sorry, my bad.
I mean, we had lots and lots of strobe lights and such.
Yeah.
I
That's
knew
why
you were
I'm very
gonna
glad I
pitch in on the
wasn't born.
strobe light conversation.
It was inevitable, huh?
Absolutely. You're the only one who can provide a genuine perspective on the appeal of strobe lights in the club scene and all of that. And who knows what
Oh,
you were
yeah.
popping back then.
Oh yeah, I saw a light show, a Pink Floyd light show.
No way.
Oh yeah, and that didn't
Oh
bother
wow.
Hear that?
At OMSI,
Back in the day.
up at OMSI.
That's incredible. That's awesome. I mean, I've
But
been to
that
some shows.
no, what am I saying? No,
Not
not
Pink Floyd.
OMSI. No,
Hey
it was,
Tom, you know about these? You know about these shows at the planetarium?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was wrong. That was in the Spectrum in
Oh, you said the Spectrum.
Philadelphia.
In Philly.
In Philly.
That's where I'm from, Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah, we were from Jersey, and now my mother is telling me about something about the planetarium and Pink Floyd and all
I've
that.
heard about the planetarium shows only through like watching an episode of a show, but they're like specifically based off of strobe lights. It's like telling
apparently somebody
a
called him the
story.
devil
I
in
think
her
you can
family.
Well,
see
yeah,
them.
they like lit up over and over again to tell a story with like different pictures, and like okay.
I think you can find those on YouTube. You could probably find some of those on YouTube
Yeah, I bet
if you want to seize out.
So you got it.
Right, if you want to test yourself.
You hear that, epileptics? Everybody go to YouTube right now. Type in
Tommy?
planetarium show.
Oh, come on.
So there was a planetarium about 4 blocks from my house that there was a university there, and they had a planetarium, and you could like walk in there and watch planetarium shows sometimes. It was very incredible to grow up around so much weird stuff
Oh
like
wow,
that.
I wonder what that would do. Like in those planetariums, they have the stars and such on the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah.
Wow, that I mean,
Shine 'em.
I wonder if that would, you know,
I don't know. Like
Well, now I'm getting a live review
I
about
could have
Tommy by The
absenced and my
Who.
friend wouldn't have noticed. I don't know.
I hope us talking about this isn't, you know, messing with somebody that has a photo.
Yeah, no, don't mess yourself up. Look, I don't even
Really
like
don't
to
mess
look
with
at it now. I don't know.
No, this kind of thing gives me a goal. You know, if I truly think that I'm doing well and I'm seizure free, it's been so many weeks or months if I can ever get that far.
You can go
And I
to
go
a
see like
planetarium
Tommy the
show and
Who
not have a
planetarium
problem. There
show.
you go.
Exactly.
That's a good way to tell. A mark
I hope
for
you all get
The
that.
pretty-
it.
And no, I'm never
that
gonna remember
was
Tommy the
extremely
Who. My mother
well.
just won't stop singing it now.
Well, they are really pretty. That's what I remember, but
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
My phone background is a planetarium from
Oh, yeah?
TV show. Yeah.
My phone
Uh,
background is some kind of
Oh,
aurora
cool.
borealis
My wife
that
knows
I've
all that
always
stuff.
wanted to see, but don't know if I'm gonna make that now that I'm epileptic. I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the way
Genuinely,
to
I genuinely hope you're able to.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Seems like travel is like world travel is a goal for a lot of people. Maybe not just with epilepsy, but definitely a bucket list thing.
I did world travel before my seizures came back. I had my first seizure when I was 2, and then for a while I just had no seizures. And I went, and my dad's a law professor, so we got invited to a bunch of other countries, and we would all come along. So I've been to like France and South Korea, and but then I turned 8, and then my epilepsy came back, and I couldn't go anywhere.
But did you even remember? Could you remember anything after that?
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
You actually
I
retain
have
the
memories
memories.
from those trips.
Nice.
It's great.
Yeah, that's what makes me feel so guilty because she's saying we went to Japan and I was on some international team for martial arts and you know we did traveling all around Japan and the country for these competitions and I know how to count in Japanese and when I watch Karate Kid it brings back nothing. So
Oh.
The thing
Yeah, I
about
feel
traveling
kinda guilty
now
about that.
is I take CBD, and we looked it up, and I can only, and since if without taking CBD I would be dead. Yeah, I can only go to places that allow you to bring CBD oil over the plane, and it's funny because I have family living in Canada, but they don't allow that in Canada, so now I just can't go there.
Oh, that's a ripoff.
that
I'd be able
sucks.
to go to Jamaica.
There you go.
I'm
Plan a
sorry.
family reunion in
We
a
honeymooned
CBD friendly
there.
place.
You might be able to go to Jamaica. That's all I'm saying. Because it's a quick flight and they're very, very accommodating and they're very sweet about it. They're some of the
I've never been
kindest
outside the
people you
United
will
States.
ever meet. They're wonderful.
I believe you.
So I got something in the comments that says just because it hasn't given you a seizure before, it still makes me feel uncomfortable. So still try to avoid it if I were you.
Yeah.
Flashing lights or
Yeah. That was someone's advice for that question.
Yeah, if it makes you
Yeah.
uncomfortable, definitely don't.
I hate it. I can, and I didn't used to, I used to go dance and stuff when I was young, but yeah, I don't like it now. I don't
yeah, I
even
was in
like
disco
certain video
clubs.
games. I'm like, yep, we're gonna look over here now.
Yeah.
Disco, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a few years ago, huh?
Yeah. What, when I went dancing?
No. I was saying I've been to disco clubs with all kind of lights and
Yeah.
yeah, that was a few years ago.
I would have been before I could even drink, probably.
Uh-huh.
I didn't really do much clubbing after I was 21. Get the old stamp on the hand so you don't get the alcohol.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I haven't been to a bar in 20 plus years.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm not missing
I
nothing.
don't drink, I don't smoke
Yeah.
anymore.
You're not missing
See,
anything.
epilepsy is
No.
a great way to get you clean from all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
Like,
that's when
yeah, well, you're gonna die.
that's when I became a Christian.
Ah,
I quit all that. Not
Good.
because of my religion, but there was just the timetable that, I mean, I quit smoking pot, quit drinking, smoking, cigarettes, everything, pretty much overnight. I was done.
okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
I got someone in the comments who also said, does anime bother anybody? Because when I watch anime, it always gives me headaches. And they said it was still normal in my EEG. Cartoons doesn't bother me. Neither does video games. Like some people have video games that have the
Cartoons
warnings.
don't bother me. I don't watch anime, but cartoons I've never been bothered by.
Clearly, I
Anime,
watch anime.
yeah, yeah.
But let's say there are different kinds. There's different kinds of anime. There's different kinds of lights. There's different kinds of fighting or magic or whatever. Or maybe different even animation styles. Like there's some things I can't watch and I'm just like, ow.
Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and all that good stuff.
I think Rachel knows what I mean. Like the difference between like JoJo's Bizarre
I
Circus
don't
and
watch
like
anime.
freaking
No,
you know,
I get that
something-
vibe too because we binged Murder Drones. We binged Murder Drones today, and comparing something like that to, I mean, just Pokemon for the hell of it, like one of the
Yeah.
originals.
It's
Yeah.
not just anime. I'm an animation nerd.
right, that's
wanted
why
to
I
be
said I
an
think you'll
animator
understand that.
for a decade, but yeah, I know there are different kinds, like you said, Sailor Mom, like there are different kinds of animation and some and fights, and like some will like have like lights flash across the screen
And
to
it's just
action.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it can definitely be uncomfortable.
What I would say is it probably, if you're coming up with a headache, it's lowering your threshold. Maybe you should maybe not binge it or take breaks or
Yeah.
I don't even know because I don't know
Always
exactly
watch
what
it
you're
during the day
watching.
on a smaller screen.
But I always have to take an anime and try it before I can be like, oh yes, I can watch this. This is, like
Yeah.
there are things that I'm just like, nope, absolutely not.